want to say R.I.P to 93.5. We ain't got no more Flow 93.5 no more.
Are you serious?
Oh, you didn't know?
I had no
Oh,
idea.
you didn't know?
Oh, you know?
But didn't we talk about this though? Kind of like how eventually radio companies or radio stations will die out.
Nah, but that's not the thing. It's being taken over by another company, like American company.
Heart, who is it? iHeart or something?
Nah, it's not them. I heard there's I think 92.5, right? Yeah. Wait, no, is it 92 or 99.9?
Nah, maybe 99.
Oh no, it's Virgin. That's
No, that's
Virgin
Virgin.
Radio.
Wait, Virgin's I heard also, right?
I think it's. I think it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard with them. Yeah. But yeah, so now Flow is becoming Flow 98.7 because
Isn't there already a 98.7?
Yeah.
so G98.7 they sold because so G98.7 was a black-owned radio station.
Right.
The owner of that died like I think maybe about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Around that time, and they sold the company. So now Flow is now being brought over to 98.7.
Yeah.
And I think they're also owned by black people.
Are they gonna continue the reggae, the Caribbean, the Afro beats?
If they don't, it's going to be a fucking fight.
That's actually a good question.
It's going to be a fight.
I don't think they will.
It's going to be a fight.
I really don't think they will because I actually fucked with the Afro beats and the what's it called, the reggae and
especially
the soca
summertime.
And all that.
That's my jam.
It's gonna be
every day. Anytime I'm driving in the
105.5
summertime.
thing still.
It's going to be that from...
Oh yeah. That is a good
Vibe
station,
105, yo.
too. But
Shout out to
anytime
them,
we're driving in the summertime, that's my jam. 98.7. Because I just get that feel, those feels.
Get that vibes, bro.
Yeah.
Get that nice summer vibes.
But that's interesting. I mean, whatever, kind of. Because it's like, who listens to radio really like that anymore?
More people.
But
Yeah, I think, like, we've already talked about it, but, like, where I said that radio's never going to die. It's
news radio isn't.
No.
But, like, music, that could die out easily.
It'll never die.
Yeah, it could.
It'll never die just because as much as everyone's going to the internet for their music and their just stuff in general, people still need local stuff.
No.
Because especially when, like, if things goes to shit.
No. What's going to shit? Like fucking Y2K? Is that what you're talking about?
No, just if shit just goes down, like if the internet goes down, you need some source of other ways of communication. So you can't really put all your
news. That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, but
news is cool.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
You talking about music?
No, but
radio?
But you still need like local stuff. Like you need places for like artists and creators to go to locally. That's like that could be broadcast on such a wide local scale. So then you can be known within your community because since the internet's so fast, it's not too specific. No,
I disagree. Let me tell you why. Because like it's not like there isn't those stopgaps like the label like back in the 90s where they have the label and you got to go through like publishing and all that. Like nowadays you put it on YouTube, put it on SoundCloud, and you can blow out of there. So you'll be bigger than local before local even hears about you. Yeah, that's why I say like
that's the thing. You want to. It's always good to be known within your community.
But you don't need them though.
But that's
you don't need radio.
But then that takes away the whole community aspect of things. Like
no, it doesn't.
Because like it's not the same feeling of me knowing people from like across like the country compared to knowing people within my community. People within the community sees me for who I really am.
First off, it wasn't until like stations like 98.7 like when it first came out or like 105 or one of those like
105's been up for a minute.
The up and coming radio stations. Those are the guys that put on local people. But like people like what was it 93.5 or like 99.9 or whatever. They play like the bigger people.
Yeah,
wouldn't play your own people.
They play commercial.
All them niggas play no local shit, bro.
No local shit.
Yeah, they play more commercial.
You know what I mean? It was like much radio or much music. Like, they don't play the shit that comes on TV. That.
Well, I feel like one thing also is also our radio laws are kind of different when it comes to that.
What you mean?
Like what they're allowed to play on.
Like certain airwaves.
Does that mean you can't play local people?
No, there's like certain regulations on like I remember when like
depending on how big your range
your tower and stuff like that. Yeah. Cause like you have to follow like I remember when I did radio for a bit, and the thing that they got you to do was that you had to like you can do things that you want to do. Obviously, no cursing and stuff like that, but then you would have to follow certain certain guidelines to be like, okay, you have to have this many advertisements, you have to have this much Canadian music being played.
Yeah.
You have to make sure this what's it called, that you're giving out like informational stuff that within that hour and stuff like that. And those are like the things that they would make you like have to follow, compared to like, as you already know, the internet's the Wild West. You know, and a lot more companies are willing to work with radio stations than just like being like, oh, I have to search for someone like out there on the internet, especially like if you're local. You know what I mean? Like if you're local, you'd be like, an example would be like when you listen to G98, you be hearing the advertisements for like certain dealerships within the GTA, or you be hearing about like certain like lawyers in the GTA and stuff like that. And it'll be a lot harder for them to get to a certain range on the internet because there's so much shit out there, you know?
I hear what you're saying, and I feel like that also doesn't work because those advertisements only come on at a certain time.
Depends what you pay for.
It depends on what time you're coming in. Because if I go on the radio now and they're playing music, I'm not hearing that advertisement at all. But if I go on the internet, there's a better chance.
No, you'll hear it.
I'm more on the internet than I'm listening to radio.
But that's you. But that's you. But that's not the fast
Nigga,
majority.
that's everybody.
That's not everybody.
On average, people are more on the internet than they listen to radio. There's no way you can tell me anybody is the other way around.
Especially mans that work on construction sites as well. They're listening to radio.
More than they're on the internet?
How are you going to be on the internet when working?
I will just say this. It's generational.
Yeah.
With this argument that we're talking about is more generational.
Oh, so it's more like older heads.
Older heads,
to
everyone over the age of, I would say, 40 and up. More likely,
like 50 and up.
Nah, 40, trust me.
As the older you get as well, you're going to listen to the radio more.
Yeah.
And
well, actually, no, because my parents still like download their own shit.
Yeah, they'll download, but your parents still listen to the radio.
No. My parents don't.
Your parents don't listen to the radio?
My mom does. I like it.
My parents don't.
My parents listen to the radio.
No.
I listen to the radio.
My dad downloads his own music on YouTube or Spotify. My mom listens to YouTube only, doesn't listen to the radio.
Yeah, my mom listens to the radio. Especially if they're driving, they don't like to connect their phones to like listen to music.
I'll say majority of the time.
Dad plays in his
like I've showed my mom how to download music on Apple Music. My mom's just like, okay, cool, and she doesn't use it.
All this is, you ain't doing a good enough job. You supposed to put your
There's only so much I can do.
You supposed to put your family on, man. Like you got them in the past. Like they trying to find 93.5. 93.5 don't exist no more.
It's gone.
Like get with the times, bro.
No, bro. My mom's like, yo, she'd rather listen to the radio when she's driving. She doesn't want to connect her phone and all that stuff unless she's making a call.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I say this is more of a generational topic.
And internet radio still counts as like, because like there's radio on Spotify and
internet radio don't count.
Internet radio counts.
A lot of these guys have their radio on the internet.
Yeah,
which is actually easier too because it's not.
Are you talking about like selection radio?
Selection radio is a part of radio.
But selection is pre-recorded.
Doesn't matter. It's still it's still considered
That's not
radio.
Radio at that point.
It's radio.
There's no advertisements in between.
Doesn't matter, bro. It's still considered as a radio.
Like you just call it radio, but it's not.
No,
radio.
when you go in the section,
it's a really long song.
When you go, bro, come on. No, it's not.
There's no advertisements in between.
No, it's not. Bro, you don't.
Because he plays a show.
That's what it is. It's a radio show. When you go in Apple Music and you look for selections under radio.
I mean, that's what they call it.
No, like, that's what it is. This is what radio has.
Real radio.
Radio has.
I mean, you could also say it's developing. Yeah, you can say that.
This is what radio has evolved for innovation. Mm-hmm. So even though it's on the internet, it's still considered radio. Mm-hmm. So it's like even though it's pre-recorded and stuff like that, like 'cause even if you listen to certain radio shows, you can listen to the previous like whatever aired that day, or sometimes they replay it. So just because they replay it doesn't mean that it's not radio. It's still radio.
What do you mean by that? Like 93.5, they play older shit?
Like they'll have like, let's say Ross and Mocha like during the week, and then let's say someone that they're supposed to have on Saturday in the morning is not there. They'll just replay whatever recording they had that week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, even though it's pre-recorded, it's still radio.
Sure, but at the end of the day, point being, radio is dying.
I don't think so.
It is for sure. It's kind of like with news stations.
I will
dying out
agree
as
with
well.
Jason. It is definitely it's on the decline.
Yeah.
It's not dying like yo.
I mean,
But
it's
it's on the
slowly
decline,
Yeah, compared to what it was
spiraling
back in the day. Yeah,
Because our generation and younger would use our phones and
yeah.
all the shit that we downloaded.
100%. It's slowly gonna die out.
But there's
and
still older heads. Like when that generation goes, when we're like
In our 50s.
in our
Yeah.
50s, 60s,
Yeah.
that's when it will probably be like,
I think it's just gonna be
because
more.
most cars-
I think it's just gonna be more internet radio at that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you
most
also have
cars-
Sirius XM.
No, what
that's
it's gonna
also
be
another.
is what it's gonna be is most cars are gonna be like the Tesla joint where they have the big ass dashboard that you can click Spotify, Apple Music.
click all your apps and shit.
You know, click your apps and you can just play your own music.
Well, I was gonna
And
say
most cars
my
will have
car already
probably-
has that.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you
I
can
mean, a lot
choose
of
the
cars
apps
do,
and all
but
that,
like you know,
yeah.
the average car,
Yeah.
most cars that everybody drives will probably have like a lot, like you know, as people buy.
Yeah,
New
you're-
My
cars.
car's pretty average. It's a
Every single
Honda.
car.
But yours is
I'm not
new,
talking
though,
about now.
bro.
I'm talking about in the future, bro.
I know, but mine's a
but
Honda.
yours
Nobody,
is
nobody's
still newer,
breaking down your shit. All right,
guess so.
Because mine doesn't have that. Mine doesn't have the ability to go on apps.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of
But
cars
mine still
still,
has aux and
Yeah.
it still has Bluetooth.
a lot of
and
cars
shit.
still are like
Yeah.
you know have the older type deck.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as we progress, like
It's getting
10 years
upgraded.
down,
Yeah.
Yeah,
most
20s,
cars
all these new 20 cars, all of them have like
that
screens
super
and-
dashboard.
Yeah, have the
Super
crazy-
And you
dashboard.
can like you know update the dashboard so you can
Yeah.
add your own apps, whatever.
Yeah, then it's
That's
gonna
what
be
it'll turn
customizable.
into.
Like, facts.
That's what it'll turn
facts,
into,
facts,
bro.
facts.
And then people won't be listening to radio, be listening to Spotify.
I still think radio's gonna be there.
News, I think like news radio,
Not
like
just news. I still think like there's still gonna be like music playing on there's still gonna be FM. They're never gonna get rid of FM, man. FM's it's a part.
I think you'll be surprised.
It's
like,
a part
30
of
years,
our. It's a
30
part of our
years.
society, man. Like not even just like generational. It's actually like a form of communication where like they'll never get rid of it.
Yo, that's probably what they said about the dial phone, bro. Like, yo, this will never go away.
That's completely different.
That's what it is. It's technology. It just moves forward.
Yeah, it's moving forward, but
And things die out.
But like radios, they still need that, man. It's a type of analog like of what's it called? Of communication. You still need like I don't think we can fully go full digital.
Bro.
Because
be
full
surprised.
digital, one EMP we're fucked.
You'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised.
Because you still need like that backup to be like, all right, we still got the radio going.
I do.
It's probably not gonna be making as much
only
money.
for radio though.
Yeah.
Only for radio. But
Yo.
like, yeah.
I agree for news. If you're talking about news, I'm with you.
So
you
you're
talk about
agreeing with
music?
the AM, not the
You think-
FM.
I think
Like
FM
music wise,
Yeah.
yeah, no. I think that's just gonna die out.
FM's always gonna be there, but it's just they're not gonna make as much money as they did back in the day.
I think it's definitely going to always be AM. It will always be AM.
Yeah, for news because you
Yeah.
need that shit.
But FM, it might still. It
Yeah.
might.
I think it'll
It
still
really
be there.
might.
Because even like in
Only time
the
can tell.
like the lower '90s, you have like the classical musical and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it's always gonna be there. It may not be, it's not gonna be popping like how it was before, like when Specs was on and all that stuff. But it's gonna,
Sunday Boss.
but it's still
Whatever
gonna
happened to
be,
that guy?
still gonna be there. He's still there.
Is he? Wait, was he 93.5 or was he 98.7? Was he
I'm pretty sure
98?
it's
Just both.
98, yeah.
He didn't flow in G.
No, but I swear now he only does 98.
Well, now he's gonna be back to
And
flow.
back to flow. Very controversy in town right now.
Real for real.
But
But
yeah.
shots of vibe though.
I don't know if you want to bring up a topic before I bring up the next one.
I guess the thing that I was gonna bring up, I don't know if you're gonna bring it up.